guys. Today we're going to be looking at a really important number and, well, way to split numbers up, and they're called tenths. Now, tenths are possibly the most important fraction that we'll learn about. The good news though, they're possibly the easiest fraction as well. So let's have a look at the basics first. So if we were going to talk about 1/10, for example, that's very easy. We can just colour that in there and we can see that that is just one out of our thing that's been chopped up 10 times. So we can see that that top number, the numerator, indicates how many that we should be colouring in. As you can see, the number down here, the line's missing, but you get the idea. This shape has been chopped into 10 segments, and we're going to talk about 6 of those. So you would colour all of those ones there, plus one of these, and you would have 6 tenths. So that's very easy to follow. I'll leave the rest for you to do. Is it possible to have tenths of sets rather than just one whole thing? Like, imagine that's an orange, so that would be 1/10 of an orange, or 6/10 of a chocolate bar. Can you have them of whole numbers? Yes. Say if you had 20 things, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So that's an array set out like that. Can I have 1/10 of that set? Yes, I can. It would be it would look like this. So 1/10 of 20. Now remember, times can be of, is 2. So I could make 10 sets like that, couldn't I? So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So one of those sets only has 2 in it. So that's the real basics with tenths. But we're going to focus on fractions of wholes at the moment. So I'll leave you do those ones there by yourselves. Let's move on quickly to this bit here. It says how many tenths are in these sets of tenths. Now, you'll notice it's not just one circle, but 2. And it's saying how many tenths are in all of 2. You could count them. I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, blah, blah, blah. Or, because I know there's 10 in each circle, I can just say, well, 2 times 10 is 20. Very easy. Again, I'll leave you to have a go at these ones here, but you've got 5 circles there, so it's going to be 5 lots of 10, and so on. By the time we move down to this bit, we're not even worrying about drawing the circles, but it's exactly the same kind of questions. It says, there are how many tenths in all of 7? 10 times 7 is your math there, right? So, very easy. There are 70 tenths in 7 whole circles chopped into 10 each. Make sense? I think that does. It's pretty good, isn't it? Now you can work your way through down there. Sometimes the numbers get big, but don't get worried. It's exactly the same process. How many tenths are there in 19? Well, it would be 19 times 10. There must be 190 tenths. A lot of little pieces, but it doesn't matter. The maths works the same. What if we're talking about less than 1 to start with? Say the question is something like, there are how many tenths in 1/5? Well, that's a little bit more of a challenge to figure it out. But say we took this circle here, which we haven't played with yet, and we split that into fifths instead of tenths. So you can imagine those are a bit there. If I coloured in one of those fifths, you can instantly see that there are 2 tenths in 1/5. So the answer to that there are 2 tenths in 1/5. If the question down here, a little bit further down here, just bring it down so you can see, it says there are How many tenths in 3/5? Well, in that case, you'd go back up to your circle and colour in 3 of those fifths, and it would tell you straight away. You could count them. But if you know that there are 2 tenths and 1/5, you could easily figure that out. I won't write that in for you, but you can figure that out. Now, just another really important bit to finish up on. There's this little picture here you might have noticed, and what it's doing is explaining where tenths fit in our place value houses. Now, the green bar here shows you whole single numbers, the ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all fit in there. Tens, 40, 50, 60, hundreds, sorry. Everything on this side of Dennis the decimal is less than 1, and we're talking about this first set here, the 0.1s and 0.2s. So an important little piece of information here, 1/10 is the same as 0.1. So that's the big learning in that part of this sheet here. Now, there's no activity for it. It's just something that's worth reading and understanding. Quick joke, guys. Why can't you run through a campsite? You can only ran because it's past tense. Oh, grammar joke. Terrible. Okay, guys, that's all for this segment, but there's more on tenths coming. Thanks for listening.